Welcome to the New Jersey Self-Advocacy Project's How to Develop Testimony training. We are doing this for Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, which is March, and the year is 2021. So the importance of testimony has so many different layers. First of all, testimony is a formal request for support. You are asking the people who make these decisions for something specific, letting them know what you need, why you need it, and what you want. It's one of the most effective ways to advocate on legislative or policy issues. So if there's something going on in your town, in your state, in your country that you want changed or you want kept the same, testimony is one of the best ways to do that. Your voice matters. Written and or verbal testimony is a way that you can advocate for your needs and your wants in your area. When you submit testimony, it is read and considered by all of the legislators, even if you don't attend a hearing. So you submit your written testimony, and sometimes they will allow you to record a video and submit it. You have to check each separate hearing to know what they want. But when you submit it, it is then up for public record. Anyone can read it. And then all of the legislators and everyone on the committee takes the time to read and look at all of those testimonies. And this quote is something that I like, and it's important to remember that legislation is decided by those who show up. People are not mind readers. Our legislators are not mind readers. We need to let them know exactly what we want and exactly what we need. So here's an example of a testimony that was used last year, last September. This is a written testimony, obviously. And we're going to go and break it down and go through each part. So if possible, if you have one, you want to use a letterhead. It makes it look more professional. This can be something from a group you're a part of, or if you work for an agency or a program, you can use their letterhead. Otherwise, it's very easy to make one, especially using an app like Google Docs, or if you have a MacBook, something on your laptop. A program like that could work, like Keynote or PowerPoint, something like that. You can easily make up letterhead. Just makes it look more official. Kind of helps it stand out as well. So when we print these out, we usually print them in color. Again, that pop of color is going to make it stand out aside from all of the other testimony that is also being submitted. Testimony should have the date at the top. Self-explanatory. You also want to start your testimony with a polite greeting and an introduction of yourself. So in this specific testimony, the person addressed who they were, where they live, and the programs that they're involved in, any kind of position that they hold. And then they kind of segued into another paragraph explaining their living situation, because this testimony was getting direct support professionals a higher wage. So part of that introduction was talking about how they interact with direct support professionals, kind of giving an official claim to why they're voicing this opinion and how it relates to them. And then the next portion should contain what you want, what you need, and you want to be direct in what you're asking of the committee. So you will see that in this testimony, the first sentence is, I am here to advocate for direct support professionals and pleading that they get more funding from the fiscal year 2021 state budget. So that first sentence is just exactly what we want. The next few sentences explain why they deserve that. So how they're working overtime due to the pandemic, how they normally outside of the pandemic, work very hard. All of these sentences explain why what you're asking should be delivered. And then the next paragraph again is more kind of facts about how much DSPs currently make, what you're asking for. So we're asking for 25% higher. which will soon be $15 an hour. So kind of like the number aspect of it, again, just very clear on what you're asking for and what you want from the committee. And then the next portion is just a simple line or two thanking the committee for their time and consideration. You can say something like, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for allowing me to present my testimony. Thank you for your consideration, something like that. And then finally, you want to end with a polite sign off. And this should include your full name, if you have any positions or titles, or if you're a member of any group and you're sending this testimony as part of that group, you can include that there as well. And then the bottom of this testimony is just also part of that letterhead. So it has contact information, address, email, phone, that kind of thing. You want to make that specific to you. So along with a written testimony, if you're going to present testimony at a hearing, right now they're done virtually or they can be done in person, you should develop talking points to go along with your testimony. Your written testimony is going to be handed over or emailed in, but the talking points are just for you. Your written testimony can be as long as you need. Verbal oral testimony, however, is limited to a few minutes, typically around 3 minutes. So you want to prepare talking points ahead of time to address the important factors of your testimony. Talking points help ensure that your concerns are coming across and also that the hearing stays on track. If you've never attended a hearing before, they are filled all day. There are many people that are trying to also get their points heard. So that's why they limit it to a very short amount of time, because they want to make sure they get enough time, they have enough time to hear everybody. So practice your talking points ahead of time as well. This way you're comfortable with what you're saying and you're well versed with your points. So this example here are talking points for the same kind of testimony. So again, this person, Evelyn, was testifying again on behalf of direct support professionals getting a higher wage. So these were the talking points. So good morning, assembly. You want to address the committee. It could be the Senate, could be assembly, whatever committee you're addressing, you would like to, welcome them. Again, thank you for hearing my testimony. And then the introduction, my name is, I am, any positions you're in, any titles you hold. And then again, get directly into what you're asking, what you need and what you want. So they said, I'm here today because we need to give direct support professionals a living wage. Short, sweet, and to the point. You want to let them know. We're not reading the whole testimony. We don't have time to read the whole testimony, especially if it's longer than 1 page. But you want to make sure you're getting all of the points across. So these points should be direct. They should just be asking for specific things. And you want to make it as simplified as possible. You don't want to kind of say things that are confusing. If you have time, you can add in some examples of why. So, Evelyn said it's hard when staff leaves because they aren't being paid enough. So she's talking about turnover rate, and then with a higher wage, empty staff positions won't be so hard to fill. So she gave some examples. And then she ended it again with a polite sign off. Please remember my testimony when making decisions about the 2019 budget. Again, thank you for this opportunity to speak before you today. So you want to develop these talking points, and it doesn't matter what they look like, because again, you're going to be the only one seeing them. You just want to have it direct. You want to practice them. Make sure you're staying within your time slot. That's very important, because again, we want to keep that hearing on track. We're not going to appreciate it when other people go over their time. So just like with that, you want to be respectful and stay within your time as well. So here is one of actually the last hearing that we were able to attend in person. This was March 10th, 2020. This was a Senate budget hearing on the New Jersey state budget, and Advocate Renee was here testifying, and we have the audio from her testimony. I want to note that this little box on the right here, this wooden box, is actually a kind of like a stoplight. It's a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. So that helps you know if you're staying within your time. I believe for the first 2 minutes, it's green, and then for a minute, it's yellow, and then it turns red at your 3-minute mark, or, it's adjusted to however long you have. So we're going to listen to Renee give her testimony.
Hi, my name is Erin Smithers, and I'm with the New Jersey Self-Advocacy Project.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
I'm here with Renee Pierce, who would like to testify.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Senators and thank you for hearing my testimony. My name is Renee Pierce. I am a self-advocate for Maplewood, New Jersey, Irvington. I am the chairwoman of Council 2 with the Self-Advocacy New Jersey's network. I am also the Sergeant of Arms of the advisory board in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I am here today because we need to give direct support professionals a living wage. The work that they do is not minimum wage work, so they should not be paid minimum wage of if they are paid what they are worth, the turnover rate won't be so high either. I would be able to keep these valuable people in my life, and maintain my way of living without any breaks or losing my independence. With a higher wage, empty staff positions won't be so hard to fill, and group homes would stay fully staffed. A high turnover rate means we are having to constantly train new staff members, and that takes time. Will we really need your help? Please remember my testimony when making decisions about the 2021 budget. Again, thank you for your times. Okay, that's it.
Great job. Great job. Good job. Way to work through that. Thanks. And thank you for your testimony. And we appreciate you being patient, being with us here today. Thank you. Good job. Nicole.
So, as you heard, she got a great response from the senators, applause from the crowd. It was such a positive experience for her, and she has done a lot of these hearings. She has testified numerous times, and the experience is always positive. Renee feels that she gets her voice across, she gets it heard, she's saying it directly to the people who are making these decisions, so it's the best way for her to communicate and advocate for what she wants and what she needs. If you would like to see a hearing and be able to hear the way different people testify, this is a virtual hearing that happened back in December 15th, 2020. And Evelyn, the advocate whose testimony we read and the talking points we went over, she is in this hearing. I included the YouTube link. You can just click that or copy that, paste it into your browser, and you can watch the whole hearing. So you're able to see how different committees address different hearings. They're not all always the same. Like I've mentioned before, sometimes you get 3 minutes, sometimes you get 4 minutes, sometimes you get 2 minutes. Sometimes there's no limit. So it all depends on making sure you know the guidelines for the hearing you're attending and just being comfortable with the material that you're presenting. So now let's find out how to find opportunities to testify. So this is the New Jersey Legislature homepage, and the website is up top. The address is njleg.state.nj.us. So you can click on that you'll get this page. This is all about New Jersey. And if you ever get lost, you're exploring the site a little and you want to come back, just click that home button right up there. So right on the front page, you will see New Jersey Now in session. These are all of the meetings that are taking place, and it's done by calendar date. So when this was recorded was Monday, March 8th. These are all the meetings that are in place. And if you scroll down, you see this little calendar. You'll see the key underneath. Yellow is legislative activity. Green is including budget hearings. So anytime a date is highlighted, there is legislative activity there. So you can go ahead and click on that date and the meetings will pop up. So you'll see for Tuesday, March 16th, there is a Senate Budget and Appropriations hearing, only a budget hearing. So they're not going to be discussing any other bills. So if we go back to the home page, you'll see for the day, let's click on one of these links here. You'll see all of the bills that are being discussed with some of their information. But if you go ahead and click on that bill number, you can find out all of the information about that bill. And if you click on PDF or HTML, you can actually see a copy of that bill. So you can find out who it's sponsored by. You can find out, the synopsis, obviously, and then you'll find out exactly what the wording of the bill is. This is the bill. So you can find out who it would affect, who it pertains to, and that's how you can form an opinion on whether you want to participate in that hearing or not. Generally, hearings you need to register for them ahead of time. So right now is budget season, so the budget hearings are going on for the New Jersey state budget. So you can click that registration link, and you'll come to this page, which has all of the information for the different hearings. You have the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee, and then you have the Assembly Budget Committee at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and click where it says click here, and this is where you get all of the information about this hearing. This is also how you register. So for these hearings specifically, they only want you to testify at one. So you can testify at just one assembly and then one Senate if you prefer. And if you're not sure how, you can click the instructions and it'll tell you what to do. So select the day you want to register for and then the time. Then you're going to enter in your personal information. You need a working email because that is how you are sent the confirmation as well as the link. Since these are virtual, you will get a link to attend. And then if you need any sort of hearing loss assistance, that is how you can fill that out as well on this registration form. So you are able to get CART or sign language, and those need 5 days notice. Next, if you click guidelines, it gives you the guidelines of the hearing. So a lot of important information. You'll see each bullet point contains some guideline for this hearing. So you are asked to log into the session within the hour prior to the start of the session. So depending on what time you're registering for, you want to log in before the hearing is supposed to start. They want everybody ready to go before it's supposed to start. Your testimony is limited to 3 minutes for this particular hearing. Again, it's different. So check the guidelines for the hearing that you are registering for. And then you want to submit your testimony to this email address. So if you have written testimony and talking points, you only need to submit the written testimony, and the email address might change from hearing to hearing as well. So it's important to make sure you're sending it to the right address so that they receive it. And then it tells you what the written testimony should include, but we already went over this information. So you want to have obviously your name, if you're with an organization, their name, the address, phone number, a fax number if you have it, and a correct email address. You can also snail mail it, so you can send it in the mail. Again, it gives you the email address to send it underneath, or the physical address if you would like to put it in the mail and send it that way. And then again, it's just letting you know that you are allowed to testify at only one assembly public hearing. So let's go back, and we're going to go over, you have the guidelines here, then the hearing loss assistance. So if you do need assistance, it gives you information on how you can do that. So CART or sign language interpreters require 5 days notice for this hearing, or if you need an assistive listening device, that only requires 24 hours notice. But again, it requires notice ahead of time, so you want to make sure you're prepared. So now you're just going to select which date works for you, and again, which time. So morning, late afternoon, early afternoon. You're going to enter in all of your information, first name, last name, email. The ones with a red asterisk are mandatory. You have to answer those in order to go to the next step. But otherwise, they just want your general information, how they can contact you, and then here's where you can let them know if you need any assistance. You're going to hit submit. And if everything's filled out correctly, you'll go to the next page and it'll give you the next steps. Sometimes they'll want to know if you are submitting testimony. Sometimes they want to know how you, if it's for a bill, they would like to know how you feel about the bill, if you're in favor or if you're opposed. Sometimes it just gives you that confirmation email. So again, it's different with every hearing. It should all be explained on what you need to do though with each hearing. And then you can also search by bills if you're looking for a specific bill, if there's a hearing coming out for that bill, if you're really interested in learning more about that bill. That is how you do it. And then also it has a lot of great information on this website as well. So here are all of the days that the Senate is meeting or has met. So you can see bills talked about, if there were sessions recorded, which typically they're either recorded with video and audio or just audio. And again, your testimony is made public. So you want to make sure that there's no information given out. So you can also learn more about the legislative process. If you want to visit the State House or if you want to hold an event at the State House, there are links there that can help you with that as well. So there's just a lot of information on this website. So I highly recommend checking it out, learning more about the bills that are going on in our state that are going to affect you. And then you can find out how you can testify at one, or at least submit testimony for any of these. So we talked about how they are recorded. So if you want to see live recordings, you click there. Or if you want to see archived proceedings from the past hearings, you can click there as well. Excellent. If you're new to writing testimony, the New Jersey Self-Advocacy Project can help you develop your testimony. We can help you compile the information from the other slide into a well-written, professional-looking document that will help catch the eye of the people who are reading it. We also offer trainings on this topic, as well as other legislative topics through our Governmental Affairs Ambassador Program. So we have a lot of information on how to advocate, what is advocacy, how to get more involved in your local government, how to develop testimony. We can do these trainings for your group for free. Just reach out to us and you can find our contact information on any of our sites. And then we also offer opportunities to participate in legislative activities, including opportunities to meet New Jersey state and federal legislators or representatives. So we have meetings every year, typically a lot more in March, because March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And we kind of do a kickoff event where we meet with state and federal legislators or representatives to let them know about developmental disabilities, to let them know who we are, and to let everybody know what we want and what we need. If you're interested in any of that, please reach out to us and we can get you involved. So like I said, March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, And we do have a campaign that we do every year. This year's theme is Advocacy Anytime, Anywhere. We have all been a part of this pandemic for just about a year now, but that doesn't mean that because we can't be out in large groups and we can't be out in public places unnecessarily, that we can't advocate, and we still can. So we've developed this template that you can download on our websites and enter in your information about how you have continued to remain an active self-advocate through this pandemic. So whether it's virtually, whether it's starting your own groups, whether it's just speaking up for what you want and what you need, we want to hear about it. So you can fill out this template, or you can contact us and give us your quote and we can fill it out for you. But we want to hear how you have continued to advocate during the pandemic, during 2020 and the beginning of 2021. Also, if you post anything about Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, please use the hashtags DD Awareness Month 2021 and hashtag Advocacy Anytime Anywhere. We are constantly checking these hashtags and we want to see how you advocate. Every week, we will also be putting a prompt up on our social media talking about different scenarios and asking how you would advocate in that position. So this one is about finances, and then we have one about voting. So we want to know what you would do. We're trying to promote conversation on advocacy, hear how different people advocate in different scenarios can also help you learn how you can advocate for yourself in your scenario. And while Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month is just for March, we do celebrate it all year. So come celebrate with us and participate in everything we have going on. So more about our program, the New Jersey Self-Advocacy Project. We have been a division-funded program of the ARC of New Jersey since 1983. We support the state's largest network of individual self-advocates and self-advocacy groups. We also provide comprehensive training and resources to self-advocates, family members, direct support professionals, and agency personnel. If you would like to join our email list to find out everything we have going on, you can click here. You can also sign up on our website. And then every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and Friday at 1 p.m., we offer our Healthy Lifestyles Project live sessions. So these are sessions that we have to educate students and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities about all aspects of health and wellness. They are virtual trainings, so you can participate from anywhere. And we have an array of topics going on. If you would like to register here or see what we have planned and scheduled, you can do that by clicking this link or by visiting our website. And we are still providing free trainings to groups and schools. Just reach out to us through our training page, which is this website here. You can find that also on our homepage, and you'll see what trainings we have made. If there's a topic that you're interested in that we don't already have a training made for, let us know. We are constantly making new trainings on any topic of interest for anyone around the state. And every day of the week, we are doing something online. So you can print this out. It's available on our website. You can visit us online. So we have social media videos going up 3 times a week. We have our Healthy Lifestyles Project live on Wednesdays and Fridays. We also have our Stay Healthy at Home webinars Tuesday at 2 and Thursdays at 1. We play brain games. So this is just a handy flyer to help you remember what's going on with the New Jersey Self-Advocacy Project depending on the day. Everything is available on our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So feel free to follow us, subscribe, or just check us out and see what we've got going on. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. This is our email and our phone number. And again, here are the websites, the addresses for all of our social media and our homepage, njselfadvocacyproject.org. We hope to hear from you soon.